Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me? I'm trying to connect. Oh, there we go. That might be better. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. I can hear you too. Hi, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Honestly, I've been so looking forward to chatting with you.
Likewise, it's so fun to be here. I love meeting my favorite bookstagrammers in person.
Oh, that
In person.
honestly, I have to start by saying that your latest book, Forget You Saw Her, was such a hit with my book club. Like
Oh, thank
everybody absolutely loved it, and I think quite a lot of people will be joining today. But yeah, thank you so much. I know with the time difference has been a little bit difficult because is it like 11 a.m. for you?
you. Yeah, no, this is perfect for me. Think it's your evening, so thanks for making it work.
No, that's perfect for me. The evening is better than in the daytime, so that's great. Um, Brilliant. Thank you so much. So, and I think quite a lot of people are joining. I'm so bad at these things, by the way. I get so shy, so just bear with me.
I do too. It's like I've never done it before all of a sudden, so it's good. You're in good.
I know. Hopefully, we don't get too many like technical difficulties. Um, so shall we just jump into it? The first thing that I always like to do is to just do a quick, fun 20 question quick fire. Is that okay with you?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. So, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your hot drink of choice?
I like a whatever Starbucks flavor of the month is. I just had a pistachio latte, so a good latte.
Oh, that sounds nice. I was so sad. I asked for a toffee nut latte yesterday, and they said, "Sorry, we don't have any Christmas drinks left."
That's very upsetting.
Yeah, especially at 7 in the morning. I was devastated. So, what's your favorite season?
Fall for sure.
Yeah. Um, Now, what's your favorite book by another author?
I have a
Impossible
lot.
question.
I'm gonna give you my latest favorite. It was Nobody
Okay.
Knows Here, Bryn Greenwood's. That
I
one,
have it on my shelf. It was
uh,
amazing.
so good, so emotional, so intense. That one was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, my heart was racing. Like towards the end, I just wasn't trusting anybody.
No.
Amazing. Now, do you prefer to be in joggers, like comfy clothes, or do you prefer dressing up?
Comfy clothes. Although now that I work from home full time, I get really excited to dress up when I go out anywhere. So I'll dress up to go to the grocery store once in a while just to feel
Why
like,
not? You don't know who you're going to bump into, right?
yes.
What's your favorite city?
Oh, favorite city. There's a few in Idaho I really like. Sun Valley is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Idaho. Yeah, it's a cute little ski town.
Nice. I love mountains. I love the mountains. Um, do you prefer reading your books in hardback, paperbacks, ebook, or audiobooks?
Definitely audio. I get into editing mode if I look at anything in print these days. So I
Really?
my books anymore, and then I can just enjoy the story and not get into
That
the.
makes sense though, because I bet you have to reread your books like so many times, don't you? So it's like
Yes, exactly.
that makes I never thought about that, so that makes a lot of sense. If you could time travel, which time period would you go to?
Hmm. Am I guaranteed that I'll like come back alive?
Yeah, yeah, you're coming back a lot. You're only going as like, yeah, because I was like, oh, I'd love to go and see the French Revolution, but then I'm like, well, I'll probably end up in a prison with my head chopped off. No, you would. You'd like
Exactly.
just pretend you're going there. You're transparent. You can see, but they can't see you.
I would want to go. I'm a nature lover, so I would want to go back and see like some prehistoric nature, like maybe
Yeah,
go see like a brontosaurus and
my son would absolutely agree with that one. He's obsessed. So yeah, I get that, and I see now why you would want to know whether you'd come back alive because nobody wants to get eaten by a T-Rex.
yeah, there's probably a velociraptor or a T-Rex.
um, Amazing. Now, death row meal. Hopefully that never happens. But if you were on death row and you had a you had to choose your meal, what would it be?
Oh, that's so stressful. I feel like I would probably just vomit. But if I
It would
if
be a
that
hard
was
one to enjoy, wouldn't it? But
let's go all out. Let's go like lobster and crab. I love seafood, so a good
yeah,
dinner.
nice, very good. Um, Now, if you could teleport, not time travel, teleport anywhere, where would you go right now?
Hmm. I would probably maybe somewhere like Australia because I it's so far to fly
Yeah.
that I won't do it. But
Yeah,
I want
like
to
click your
visit.
fingers, you're in Sydney without having to take like so many flights and travel for so long.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. What's your favorite TV show if you watch TV?
I do. The one I watch over and over again, it's called Pen 15.
Okay.
They're playing middle school girls in the 90s, and it's so cringy and adorable, and it was pretty much me during the 90s in middle school. So that's
I love that. I've never heard of it. But I'll have to look it up. I thought you'd say something like dark.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
mine is
do.
Criminal Minds. Like I've watched Criminal Minds so many
Yeah,
times that now I can like guess within the first 10 seconds. Oh, I know who the
I
killer
bet
is.
you can. I know. I usually do. I like those too. I watch Signs of a Psychopath in the morning when I drink coffee, but I view it as like work research instead of like fun
Yeah.
TV.
I guess you'd have to watch something quite light when it's to sort of switch off from work.
Yeah, at nighttime you got to go with the light, humorous
Yeah.
jokes.
Would you rather be able to speak every single language in the world or speak to animals?
Definitely animals, hands down.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
Equal
people
for
say that.
men.
Yeah, it is translator apps, right? Like,
Exactly.
are you more a morning person or are you more a night owl?
I work better in the morning. I have my
Yeah.
best writing hours in the morning, but I definitely am a night owl. I stay up late, so it's kind of a bad combination.
Yeah. Yeah, not much sleeping. Um, how do you celebrate when you launch a book?
Um, by the time a book actually launches and it's like, it feels almost like I'm so wrapped up in my next project already that sometimes,
Really?
oh, yeah, this is the celebration part. So I'll go out to dinner with my husband and go eat something yummy. Go eat the death row dinner.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Keep repeating it. It'll be more enjoyable than if you were. So
Exactly. It tastes better
you
then.
get to leave the restaurant. Um, what is your favorite genre to read?
Thrillers, hands down,
Yeah.
psychological thrillers. That's always been my favorite. So it's I write the kind of books I want to read and I love to
Yeah.
read.
Nice. And what is your least favorite genre? Like if you had to pick one.
Um, I cannot handle body horror, like really gory horror. I know some people love it, but
Yeah.
it just sticks in my brain. I don't like to watch really gory TV
I'm the
shows.
same.
Um,
Yeah. I love a psychology. I love something that will mess with my head, but I don't
yeah,
need
it
to
can be really
see like
dark, but I don't want to
yeah.
see someone's head explode. Like just
No. No. I like that. Yeah, I agree. And people always think I'm weird for like liking those like dark psychological thrillers, but then like, oh, you don't like horrors. I'm like, no, it's different. Cool. What is so if you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be? It can be your characters or any characters.
I would probably choose one of the characters from None Left to Tell. It's a book that has my ancestors in it. It was about this very little known huge massacre. 130
Yeah.
people were killed, 14 survived. So I would want to meet with them. I felt like it's a little bit woo woo, but I kind of felt like I had them there kind of nudging me while I wrote. So I
Yeah.
would just sit down and say, like, I see you and thank you for helping me write that book. So
I love that. I love that. You can feel that. I'm at like about 30% into that book, so I haven't quite finished it yet. But you can really tell that it's written from a place of like care and wanting to share that story. So I can see that. Um, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
hmm, I I would probably go with like Ireland or New Zealand. I love horseback.
Green.
thing, and I love the
Cool.
green and like a lot of open country and just beautiful areas of the world.
Yeah, I get that. Which character is your favorite that you've written out of all your books?
Hmm. I really enjoyed writing Megan from Ask for
That's
Andrea.
Andrea.
I kind of it's one of those characters that I put a lot of myself into. Every character has little bits, but that one feels like it was a lot of myself, and she was really fun to write and put her in all these different situations that were kind of out
Yeah. Ask for Andrea is actually the first book of yours that I read, and then after I sort of read all the other ones because I just fell in love with that one.
was your
It was
gateway.
so
That's
different. Yeah, it was so different to other books I've read before. Like obviously I read a lot of books and that one just felt like the whole point of view and everything. It just felt so different and so powerful. So it was yeah, I love that one and I can yeah, I'd want to meet Megan.
yes.
Cool. So that's my 20 questions. Shall we just have it? I know I've just been seeing like lots of questions pop up. So should I just go through that a little bit first, see what people have said
Yeah.
and um let's see. Oh, people are saying that they love your books. We do.
Thank you.
Um, people are asking when is your next launch? When are you releasing another book? Is that something that we can talk about or
Yes, it will be the cover is being finalized right now, so I'm just waiting on pins and needles to be able to share the final cover, and then I'll announce the date. It'll be this summer, so
yeah? How exciting.
yeah, it's going to be a really fun one. I'm polishing the last little bits of edits right now on it, but it's a river rafting thriller, so it's a
Ooh,
kind of the River Wild meets the Night Stalker. It's a really isolated, remote wilderness thriller, a survival thriller. So it should be a fun one.
that's gonna be cool. I love that. I'm excited for it. Um, people have said, oh, someone said, I love None Left to Tell. Living in Utah, you hear very little about the massacre, and it is so sad. So obviously that book has resonated with quite a lot of people. Um,
I'm really happy to hear. Yeah, it was a story that I like. I never heard the story growing up. I had heard the phrase mentioned, but it was shocking
yeah.
to get to be 30 years old and to realize that like not only were my ancestors involved in the story, but that it was just such a really sad, awful thing that had happened that I
Yeah.
should have known about. And
No, yeah, I can totally see that. So yeah, obviously a lot of people are feeling that too. So, I also have some questions. I put like little questions box on my stories, and people have submitted questions for you from Instagram. Is that okay if I go through them now?
yeah, let's do it.
So the first one is, when did you first know that you wanted to try writing and become an author? You are so talented.
Well, thank you. And that's a great question. I didn't know for a long time. I started out as an editor, and a lot of writers and readers too are introverts. So I thought I wanted to be in the background and help other people launch their books out there. And I really enjoyed doing that. And it gave me a good up close view of the publishing process. But after a while, I started feeling like there were books I wanted to read that weren't out there. And I was like, yeah, somebody should really write these books. And I was like,
You
well, like,
should.
maybe I should jump in there. So I did. And I mean, that's a long story short, but I really wanted to read some books that just were not written yet. And so I decided to take what I learned in editing and publishing and put my books out there.
Amazing, and we're very glad you did. Um, Out of all the books you have written, which one is your favorite?
I'm gonna have to say Ask for Andrea just because it kind of took me by surprise and it kind of came out of nowhere. I was writing a different book at the time when I started writing it. I got the idea for Ask for Andrea, and I usually once I start a project just go with the project and kind
Yeah,
of type A personality, and I get things done. But the idea for Ask for Andrea just really grabbed me, and I set aside the other book and I wrote it. And that book has just been really special. It's really cool to see how much it's meant to different readers.
yeah.
And I finally re listened to it again. I hadn't listened to it since it came out in audio back in 2022. And so it was just cool to be like, oh yeah, like I can kind of have this fresh experience listening to it like my readers have.
Yeah.
It's just a special book, and it made it so I could write full time, and it kind of launched a lot with my careers too.
I love that. I actually, for Christmas, one of the things I requested was the
Oh,
special edition.
amazing.
Obviously, we don't have this one in the UK, so I'm a bit quite bad at like buying books on Amazon US and like getting like massive shipments to my husband's horror. But this one was like top of my list. It's just so beautiful, and I bet it feels so special to see your books like being re-released with such special.
Yeah, it is, and thank you. That means so much that you wanted a special edition.
Kensington have done such a good job with this.
Great job. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see. It's really surreal to be able to walk into Target and the book is
I
there, and the
bet.
yeah, just really
I think I
special.
tagged you once because I have like I had all your books from like when they were like self-published, and I remember once walking into Waterstones, which is like our equivalent of like Barnes and Noble, and then there was like a whole table with none left to tell, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So I had to quickly like I took a picture and I put it on my story, and I think, but it
Yes.
just made me feel so happy to be like, oh, this is like Waterstones and this is like Noel's book, and I love her books, and it's just so nice seeing your books in like traditional bookshops. So.
Yes, and I love getting those photos from readers and bookstagrammers because I mean that was how my books have ended up there is that readers and book talkers and bookstagrammers like they pushed that book up the Amazon charts because you all
Yeah.
found it and ran with it. Like it was indie published, and it it wasn't a big publishing launch. The book had been out already for a little while when it kind of had its moment and rose to the
Yeah.
tops of the chart. So it just makes me so grateful when I think about how it is in all these places now that are more visible because it was people like you and people like a lot of the people on this
Yeah.
line.
I remember reading Ask for Andrea and be like, oh my God, why does nobody talk about this book? This is so cool. Like this is so brilliant. And I remember just talking about it lots, and obviously it just feels so nice to be able to like, have like special copies. I need to ask as well, will we get a special sprayed edition for Forget You Saw Hair?
I mean, I there's a lot of things in the works that I
Yeah.
can't totally talk about yet,
Can
but
can we talk about the I don't know, I know about it, but I don't know whether we can talk about it. But obviously at the end of February. I think that's out, isn't it? That's
yes,
announced,
oh
isn't
yeah.
it?
So that one will come out at the end of the month. So the sprayed edge edition of Run on
Run on
Red.
Red.
Well,
Yes.
yes, so those are the next two that will have the really pretty. I have an early copy. Let me go.
Oh, we need to see it.
Yeah, pretty. So this is the Run on Red. It's got the like
It's
the gold
gorgeous.
windows all foil, and then it's got the "Don't stop, just drive" on the
I
side.
love that.
They're
Well,
so fun.
I mean, I'm gonna get that one, obviously. But yeah, it looks amazing. Also loved Run on Red. It was such a fast-paced thriller. I remember just being on the edge of my seat, just reading it, thinking,
Yeah, that is a fun one. A lot of my books are based on like true crimes, but that one was just something that happened with me and my high school friend Anna. It didn't end like that, and it was
yeah, I hope not.
no, but
No
we were
spoilers.
like it was almost the same right until they got run off the road. We were driving up the canyon to
Oh
a
my
bonfire.
God.
We were late, and so there wasn't anybody else on the road, and we noticed this car behind us, and it just kept zooming up and flashing its headlights, and we didn't stop. We kept going, but at one point they zoomed past us, and we looked over, and it was these two guys, and they had their
Oh
hoods pulled up.
God.
Couldn't see who it was, and they went around the corner. It was a scary road to begin with, but then when we got up and caught up with them, they were parked across both lanes, so we couldn't pass them. So
Oh
we
my God.
were in the
I'm getting
Volvo.
like goosebumps. It's taking me back to reading the book. It must have been terrifying.
So anyway, we got this old Volvo turned around in like a 16-point turn. It took forever, and one of the guys opened his door, and they chased us all the way back down the canyon, but we like I don't know who they were. I don't know what they wanted, but we got away and it was fine. But I always
Yeah.
thought about how much worse that situation could have gone.
Yeah. In a way, like I guess it's good that that happened. Otherwise, we wouldn't have turned on red. But I'm glad you,
It
you know,
had a real
I'm glad.
silver lining, yeah.
um, the next question is, what other authors inspire you?
Ooh, there's a lot. Um, I am really inspired by, I mean, we can't not mention Frida, right? Like, she was another one that started out indie. She's just a
Yeah.
like kind, humble human. I really enjoy watching her career unfold and, learning from her and interacting with her in little ways. She's just a
Yeah.
nice human being and is doing really cool things with her career. I really admire I have a little group of authors that we critique each other's books and early drafts, and Caleb Stevens, Steph Nelson, and Faith Gardner. They're just really smart,
All
talented.
their books are on my TBR.
Yes,
I want to read their
it's
books. Like
free.
I've heard such good things. I have a few on my shelf. I mean, I have like way too many books, but I've got these and I need to read them. That's my sign.
They're also fun. If you like my thrillers, then there's a really good chance you're gonna love them.
Yeah,
So they're great. And then Lily Parker, she's in a totally different genre of romance, but she's been my friend since middle school, and
I
she's
love
always
that.
a great cheerleader for me. So there's so many people that have come into my circle that just feel like cheerleaders and talented in their own rights as authors. So just,
I
yeah.
love that. I feel like you can really feel that from like the author community. Like I feel like everybody's just cheering each other up, and it's like that's so nice. How nice. Have you watched the Housemaid movie?
Yes, we went on opening night. We got a group together. It was
So
so fun.
good. So good. So next question is, any more are you planning to like is there any plans for like any signed books that people can order?
I sign books. It's like I want to, but I got a little bit overwhelmed with it. And then with
It's a
Kensington
lot,
taking
isn't
over
it?
a lot of my print rights, that's a little trickier for me to do those myself. So I am really trying to make myself available for more like in-person signings or book cons. Like I'll be in Ohio and Nashville this summer, and I'll announce that. I
Cool.
visit some of my friends in the Midwest since I visited more Northwest this last year in the States. But yeah, for now they're paused on signed books on my site just because I figure I should keep writing my next books. But
Yeah, I guess it becomes really overwhelming, doesn't it? Like it's already you probably got a lot of time just sat there writing and and then having to sign. I get it. I do understand. Um, Someone put, I'd love to know what character from Ask for Andrea do you connect the most with? But I feel like you've already sort of answered that question, haven't you?
I think so. Yeah, it's Megan. I just feel like I could just so vividly imagine she's the one who gets left with herself out in the woods and is like lost and is scared of the dark, even though nothing can happen to her because
Yeah.
but I could just, that would be me if I was a ghost. I don't
Yeah.
have direction. I'm afraid of everything. Like, yeah, her character just really, really kind of connected with me as I wrote it.
I like that. And people asking how and why there's a clear difference in strategy and plots between Ask for Andrea series. So I guess that includes the prequel and your other thrillers.
Like my other standalone novels.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's what the
so
question. Yeah.
I never planned on writing a prequel or like a sequel or anything to Ask for Andrea. Like I generally read standalone thrillers myself. I don't love as much books that have I just want, especially with a thriller where like characters go through so much, like there's only so much that can
Leave them
happen to
alone. Yeah.
them.
Give them a bit of peace.
But I had so many people over the years be like, "Who is Andrea?" Because, despite the book being named Ask for Andrea,
Yeah.
if you read it, you know that Ask for Andrea is a code phrase that means I need help. There's nobody named Andrea in the first book. So I had people ask me, well, like, who was Andrea? And I didn't know for a little while. So I finally knew, like, it kind of hit me.
Yeah.
okay, this is who Andrea is, and then needed to tell her story. It kind of was the same with the first book, where it kind of hit me upside the head while I was writing a different book, and then I was like, oh, gotta write.
Yeah, I like that. And I think that even though they're like related, you could read either without, you could read it in any order, and you could pick one up without having had to read the other one as well. So it
Exactly.
works.
I really wanted it to be a true standalone. Like you don't have to read Ask for Andrea before you read Forget You Saw Her, or vice
Yeah,
versa. So they're their own stories.
I love that. Um, Someone then said, um, let's see, what was your inspiration behind Run on Red, which I really enjoyed? But we've already had the answer to that.
Yeah, just rewind just a little bit if you didn't catch that one on the last up.
Noelle had a terrible, terrible experience. And is there a book you've written that feels closest to you, to who you are as a person, to you as like which one is closest to your heart? I guess that's what they mean.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
always feel like we've had that as well already.
yeah, I think so. It's got to be Ask for Andrea. I'm
Yeah,
a super spiritual or religious person, and so I sometimes have this like I don't know like afterlife stuff, and so the afterlife
yeah,
concept in that book was hard for me to come up with, but once I hit on it, it's like what was the best thing I can imagine, and then that
yeah,
like what I think about all the time now. It's like this. That's just what I'm gonna decide is the memories and the multiverse of
yeah.
good experiences. So that one is one I think about all the time. So
I really like that. Um, let's see. Well, I think, do you know what? I mean, I feel like I feel like we've just been chatting so much between each question that we've answered the question. Because obviously, you say that what made you write None Left to Tell? Well, you already told us that. And what made you start writing As for Andrea? Well, you've already told us that
look at
one.
us go. We've done it.
I feel like, unless there's any question that have come up in the box, let's have a quick sneak. Are you planning to come to the UK at any point to come and to visit your readers in the UK? That's
Yeah, TBD on that. I
we've got to get on Macmillan, don't we? We need to get Pan Macmillan to come and
yeah,
speak to.
so I no definitive plans right now, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. I just don't have any dates to share with you right now, but maybe travel. It's like I love being able to meet readers in person, but it's another thing where it's like it's really hard to write while I'm on
Yeah,
the road, and there's so many books that I want
and
to.
it's a long way to like the UK from
It,
like Idaho. Like
I
that would
do.
be
I love the UK. We were in the Netherlands last a couple of years ago, and we it was just beautiful. We went and visited Switzerland. It was
nice.
lovely. So I would love to come back, and if I do,
Yeah.
we'll, uh, we'll definitely let you know. But yeah, no definitive plans yet.
Yeah, I feel like as like obviously living in Europe, like we forget how like because we went to New York. We've only been to New York and California in the US, and it's like it's so surreal that to go from New York to California is the same time that it takes us from Europe to New York, right? But then I can so my family's all in France. I'm from France. And like it takes me an hour and a half to fly to my mom's, and
Yeah.
that's a whole different country. And I think we sometimes forget how big the US is.
Hmm. Yeah, it is big. I know it's not too big, but the rest of it.
But I bet it's quite far to get from like Idaho to like New York. And
Yeah, there's a lot of land space.
yeah. Someone did ask, where do you get your inspiration from when you write your books?
I was telling somebody recently, it was actually Kathy who is the real so Kathy Turkanian and her daughter Alexis were the real life one of the kernels of inspiration
Okay.
behind Forget You Saw Her. She is in an incredible documentary called Into the Fire. But I was just telling her like how I come up with my ideas, and I describe it like a quilt, where it's like, this is one portion of something that happened to me when I was 5, and this is some like
Yeah.
together, and then I'll hear about something that really like gets me in the heart with like a true crime, and I kind of collect those pieces and they end up coming
Yeah,
together
because
like, yeah, kind of like a quilt.
is it like such Quiet Girls? Is I didn't know when I read it, but that's based off a true story, isn't it? Like I found out after, and I was like, oh, that's scary.
Yeah, exactly. And I love to, especially with those stories that happened pre-internet, where they weren't just like blown all over that everyone
Yeah,
knows about them. I like kind of highlighting, especially where there was somebody who is incredibly brave or incredibly like
yeah,
went through something really difficult and is, their resilience and courage is really inspiring. I like to be able to highlight those stories in like small ways. My books are fiction and they're weaving all kinds of things
yeah,
together, but I always try to add that author's note at the end to point people to a real true story that kind of
yeah,
inspires
yeah, yeah.
the book.
No, that's brilliant. My other like favorite book of yours is Grey After Dark. Is there like what's the backstory for that? Because that was like,
Yeah, so that one is also loosely inspired by real events.
wow,
There, Carrie Swenson, she was an Olympic biathlete who was training she was doing cross
yeah,
at a guest lodge, and she was abducted by these two guys who saw themselves as the last real mountain men,
yeah,
doomsday preppers, and they held her hostage, and she was able to ultimately escape. It was just a really like wild and tragic, and she's a pretty amazing human being, and she's still alive.
yeah.
Is just an inspiration in the way she lives her life, and yeah, so that story, as unbelievable as it is, is
Is
also
it true? Yeah. No, but that's what I love about your books is like you can sort of like, obviously I know it's a work of fiction and it's not, it's based off events, but it's really interesting to sort of read that and think, gosh, that's actually like sort of happened to someone else. And that's like it makes
yeah.
it even more on the edge of your seat, right? Or someone put I was on the edge of my seat reading. Oh yeah, reading. Well, yeah, me too. was um so before we move on to, I've got like some quotes that you've got to guess which book they're from. I'm just gonna test you.
Oh no.
Don't worry, they're not hard. They're not hard. But I wanted to first. So, like I said at the start of this, my book club on Fable, we picked Forget You Saw Her for our December read. It was actually like our first book pick of our book club. It's a new thing, but people absolutely loved it. So I wanted to read you some like little snippets of their reviews, if that's okay with you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
So one of them says, Forget You Saw Her absolutely floored me. I went in already loving As for Andrea, but this standalone prequel took things to another level entirely. Noel has such powerful way of writing grief, fear, and injustice, and she blends them together here in a way that's haunting, heartbreaking, and completely absorbing. I was like, then another one said, love this, unput down a ball. This book hooks you from the opening pages and refusing to let go. Every chapter feels purposeful, pulling you deeper into a story that is both emotionally gripping and psychologically intense. The pacing is fire, and just when you think you've got a handle on things, the story shifts and keeps you engaged.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful. Thank you.
These are like all 5 stars, by the way. So obviously, and maybe morning was just waiting while holding on to the ones we love in the only ways we could. Of someone quoting you there. This was for me. This for me was better than As for Andrea. I have never rooted for characters more than I did in this book. I was hanging off every word. I was on the edge of my seat, and the last part of the book was just incredible and painful and entirely unforgettable. It was definitely a heavy read. I was crying multiple times. Definitely up there with one of my favorite reads of all time. I have to say, I'm not a crier. I normally cry when I'm angry, but they're like, I'm one of those kind of, yeah. But when I was reading Forget You So, I did cry. That wasn't my review, by the way, but I did. Someone asked for a brilliant, powerful, painful story. Had me crying at the end, a roller coaster of emotion throughout this book. I certainly didn't see the twist coming. I will be reading more from this author. Another one says, really enjoyed this, read it so quickly. Not normally the type of storyline I would go for, so really enjoyed reading something a bit different. Absolutely incredible. I didn't expect to be sobbing into a book in the early hours of the morning, but I thoroughly enjoyed every second. My first book by Noelle, but it will not be my last. Um, I could go on for a very long time because there were so many amazing reviews. And actually, and a quick one because this one is really nice. Wow, I can't even begin to explain how this book made me feel. This book was absolutely incredible for all the wrong reasons, but literally had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. This one is very trigger heavy, so go in with caution. On I am actually going to sit on this for one, but I feel it might just be my new favorite book of 2025.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing those with me, and thank you to everybody who wrote those. I'm not like a lot of other authors where I love to read my reviews, like even if they're bad, it's fine. I just really appreciate that someone spent that time with the book, and it means so much to be able to see it through other people's eyes. So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
with me.
Like I think the message on there, like, is really that is such a powerful filler. Like it was just, it's not like it wasn't like a typical locked door kind of thing, but in a way it almost was because it was like being able, like being stuck in that world, and
Yeah.
it was just really powerful and really beautiful, and I think a lot of people did read. Someone put, "Forget You Saw Her made me sob so hard." Yeah, so lots of people were crying. Um, now, are you ready for the quote? I'm not.
I'm
They're really
ready.
easy. Okay, don't be scared. I feel bad. I did that with Dandy as well. I was like, I'm not trying to trip you up there.
It's a test.
Yeah. um. So the first quote is: "A tear leaked from my squeezed shut eyes, and I rolled down my cheek and rolled down my cheek. She sounded almost apologetic, like a contrite child, because she was a child."
Ooh, jeez. That okay. I'm gonna guess Such Quiet Girls. Is that one Such Quiet Girls?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
good.
is. It is. Do you know who? Can you guess who? Like,
Um, I would guess that was Jessa saying that.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I have to be honest on the process of how I chose this quote as well. I had all your books like this, and I said to my son, "Right, say stop," and it's going like,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's four. He has no concept. Um,
So
the
funny.
next one is: Nora waits 20 more minutes before tossing out the last of the cold, waxy donuts. The temperature is dropped with the sun, and she knows that Brendan is wearing only his ratty, thin Aquaman hoodie.
Okay, well that one is definitely an easy one. So that's The Thicket. Nora,
Yes.
that gave me
That
perfect.
was an easy one. The next one is: my clothes were changing. I realized it when I saw the shoe on the side of the road. When I looked down at my feet, I was no longer wearing the coral shoes I wore to Gracie's.
It's gonna be Megan from Ask for Andrea.
Yeah, this one is the one that my son didn't choose. I wanted one about Megan because I love, and I think because obviously on the book, like, it's the shoe, like,
You gotta
so
have the shoe. Yep.
yeah, I had to have the shoe. And the last one is: and then out of the blue, just loud enough that I could hear it above the rustle of the pale green leaves in the elms, I heard a baby crying.
Oh, that's Forget You Saw Her. And that's Sabina.
Yeah. Yeah, so see, they went too hard.
No. The first one you really got me. I was like, I think this has to be the one with more children in it.
Yeah, because I think the other ones don't really have children much, do they? So
No, bitch.
it had to be that was such a good one as well, Such Quiet Girl. That was such an interesting read. That was I put obviously I'm a mom, so I put myself in the place of the mother whose kids have disappeared, and I'm just like, and to then
It's
obviously at the end, like I said, I went in not knowing it was a true based of true story. So when I went into it, and then at the end I was like, oh my goodness, like someone actually went through that, and
I
terrifying.
know it is terrifying. We took our kids to Hawaii while I was writing that book, and my son, he he disappeared for like 20 minutes while we were on the beach, and it was one of those really high surf days where the waves were coming in and they were big. The boys had been having a good time playing with them, but we turned around and Max was nowhere, and he had just been playing in the water. And so it was only 20 minutes, but we had gone to
Wow.
get the Coast Guard, and I was sitting there and it was like
20
this,
minutes is so long. It's
yeah,
so long.
to be gone, that's 12 years old. And I was like, man, I haven't even captured half of it. So I went back and I revised some things based on that. And that was just
Yeah.
a tiny glimpse, but it's just having kids missing. Like, I don't know. We've all had the
Yeah.
scares, but then, yeah, to think of actually going through knowing that somebody was really in danger.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
like,
I panic when my son goes behind, like, if I'm in a supermarket or something and like I lose sight of him for like even 10 seconds, it's just like your heart drops, doesn't it? It's like, so yeah. And so that was a really, really powerful reading. And obviously when I realized it was real, I was like, goodness. Um, Amazing. So we finished with the quotes. Now I have some questions that I have sort of put together. Just, I feel like we might have already answered some of them, but I'm just going to read in. And if we decide that we've already answered that, we can move on. Is that okay?
yeah, that's great.
Um, so the first one was, what inspired you to write Ask for Andrea and its prequel, Forget You Saw Her? Can you tell us a bit about what it was like writing the prequel? I feel like we sort of have already answered that. Um, but do you want to talk to us about how it was to maybe go back into that world? Obviously you wrote Ask for Andrea for quite a while ago.
Mhm.
Forget You Saw Her is a bit more recent. How was it to sort of then jump back into this and jump back into that world and the way the ghosts are portrayed?
Yeah, it was intimidating. I really wanted to, if I was going to do this, which I had never planned on, I wanted readers to feel like they had gotten what they loved about, the Ask for Andrea original book, but they had gotten a different story too, that they didn't have to be read in a certain order. So it was intimidating, but once I had the kernel of the stories I wanted to write, I didn't go back and look a lot at Ask for Andrea. I just wrote it. And I always tell my husband that, like, I know I'm on track with a book when I can upset myself a lot of times while I'm writing it. So
If you're
I'll come,
there crying, it's going well.
yeah, I'll come downstairs for lunch and just be like subdued and upset. And that's when I know I've had like a good writing day. Like I need to then move on,
Yeah.
go for a walk. But like, so I upset myself a lot while I was writing that book, which, is ultimately a good thing because I'm tapping into the
Yeah.
emotions that those characters have. And
Yeah,
so,
because I can imagine like it was a hard read, like it was a hard book to read, like it was very emotionally, charged, and there was so many like, you know, not just Sabina and Andrea, but the whole story with Isabel, and like it was very powerful. And I think I can't imagine what it was like writing this, because obviously we feel those emotions as readers, and you wrote them down, you've gone through that. So yeah, I can understand why you need a nice long walk after writing sessions. I feel like I needed like a walk after reading it. Um, if you could if you could live in any of your books just for one day, um, which book would it be? Again, you can't die. No,
yeah,
nobody's
okay.
gonna kill
Well,
you.
even if I can't die, I don't want to go into any of them. But if I had to choose, I'd probably
I
choose
mean, you
Ask.
could go as a ghost if you wanted to go and meet the ghost,
That's
you know.
exactly where my brain goes to. I would want to go and zip into the ghost multiverse so you can
Yeah.
access all my memories with total clarity and be able to go revisit
Yeah.
other people's memories too.
I
So
love how in it's not really a spoiler, but in like in Forget Yourself when they can share memories, that's
yeah,
like such a
good.
clever way to like how they could communicate, like as supernatural iPhone. Um, what do you hope your readers will take away from reading Forget You Saw Her without giving any spoilers?
I hope that they take away. I don't know. I think I always hope readers take away empathy for,
Yeah,
I think that's my hope as to what draws people, especially women, to true crime.
yeah,
It's that we empathize. We know this could happen to any of us or our family members or loved ones. So I
yeah.
hope I hope it's empathy, and I hope it's also the thought that, we a lot of us can end up in tough situations at any moment, and we might have to rely on a stranger to help in a time of need, or we might have to
Yeah,
rely on a friend or family member, whatever, and that we're all connected. We're there for each other in those hard moments, and that's a good thing. That's a good part of humanity, even though there's so many
I
bad
really like that. Yeah, so many bad people. Yeah, but this, yeah, that's really important. And I think you can really feel that at the end, when, like, obviously I don't want to give any spoilers, but one family realizes that they probably missed their way and went, and I think that's also like human, isn't it? Like sometimes we make mistakes, and being able to sort of give ourselves grace as well, and not always putting too much pressure. And but although, listen to your daughter. That's
Yes,
always.
too.
um so obviously your books are now being traditionally published both in the UK and the US. Can you tell us a little bit about what this journey's been like? Like, what is it like for you as an author? I know we touched a little bit about it again, like, at the beginning when we talked about what it was like going into stores and seeing your books. But um, yeah, how did that sort of how has that journey been? Because it must have been intense.
Yeah, it's good. I have a little bit of a different dynamic than a lot of authors do. When I try to tell people, I can see their eyes just kind of glaze over and be like, "What? Like who?" Because like in the UK, I'm traditionally published in all formats, where it's
Yeah.
print, ebook, um, and sorry, print, ebook. That's it. Yep, those two.
Yeah, I know we don't have audio.
It just came out. So audio is now
Okay.
available in the UK and worldwide. That
Ah, cool. Because someone
Yeah.
asked me, they
Yeah.
when I was saying that I was recommending one, and I think it might have been Ask Andrea, and they're like, "Oh, I can't find the audiobook," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And
Yeah, that's all. It's been a little bit of like, so Simon and Schuster has my audio rights worldwide, and so that's been like, there's always rollout from transitioning from me as an indie author to
yeah,
a more traditional space. So everything's available worldwide again with
it's
audio.
amazing.
And then in the US, Kensington has my print rights on a few books, and then I retain ebook and um, all ebook, like Kindle Unlimited type stuff. So
Yeah,
it's good. I like being able to still be involved because I think I've learned to be a good advocate for my books.
yeah,
But then I also really enjoy partnering with so many people who are industry experts and have such a wide distribution network and can put the book in front of more readers and
yeah,
can, be allies in putting that, connecting readers with a book that they're going to enjoy. So it's been really good. I mean, aside from the logistical aspects of like who has what and when are we doing X and
yeah,
communicating between different people, like sometimes that's a challenge, but everybody's been really great to work with. Macmillan's been great.
yeah.
Simon
Yeah,
and
they were
Schuster.
very excited about the live. They like we shared on the story about, like, I've chatted with, some people on, like, they reached out to me, and it was, it's really nice to see that they're so involved, and they want to push your book as well, which is just so
Absolutely.
nice.
No, they've been incredible.
Um Now, last question, but basically, can you just give a synopsis of Forget You Saw Her and Ask for Andrea without giving any spoilers? But because I know not everybody has read them, which I don't know what they're waiting for, because they need to read both. But obviously people are busy, I understand.
Absolutely. So, Ask for Andrea, it's loosely inspired by Ted Bundy's victims. It's about three women who were murdered by the same man. There is no Andrea in the book, despite the title. I know that's confusing, but Ask for Andrea is a code phrase that means I need help. So, if you are on a date, you might ask for Andrea at the bar, and that means call the police, help me get home safe, whatever. So, it's these three women who have been murdered by the same man who are trying to figure out what they can do to stop him from killing again, and find justice for what happened to them. So yeah, I really wanted to give some of those victims a voice back that got their voice taken away. And the only way to do that was by having these victims be able to tell their story from the other side of things. So that's Ask for Andrea. And then Forget You Saw Her is standalone prequel, so you don't need to read it first. You don't need to read Ask for Andrea first. You can read one and then the other. But it is this story behind how the Ask for Andrea campaign got started. It's this girl named Andrea, and her name started this campaign to help other women get home safe. She herself did not make it home safe. So it's about her, and she meets another woman, and much the way the characters from Ask for Andrea did, they come
Yeah.
together, work to find justice and working against the clock against more bad things happening. So
Take the bad guy down.
yeah.
I love that. I actually really like that Ask for Andrea is called Ask for Andrea because it does make sense. Like it really like it just works perfectly when you do sort of understand what that means. You're like, oh, because actually like if those victims could have asked for Andrea, then they
Mm-hmm.
probably would have been safe.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I mean I've come to the end of all my questions. So unless we've got any questions on the in the chat, let's have a quick look. No, I mean, other than people saying they love the book.
Well,
um,
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Synth, for having me, and also for everyone who joined the live and wanted to come and hang out for a little while, whether it's your evening or your lunchtime or whatever time it is. Thank you. I'm so happy that you wanted to be here. So,
oh, we've just had a question actually about a book that we haven't actually spoken about Room for Rent.
oh yeah, yeah.
I have got that somewhere. It's here. And how did you get? Hopefully, you're not going to tell us a story about you being renting a house with some crazy person.
I mean, I've got creepy stories behind all of my books. My my son was doing one of those sleep talking apps, and they would listen to it and laugh. And one morning there was a creepy recording on the sleep talking app. I still don't know how it got there, what it was. Like, there's no way, I don't know. So, but we had just moved into the house, and I was like, I looked up all these stories about people in crawl spaces or people up on like attics, and like I duct taped my attic door shut because I was too afraid to go up there. Like, anyways, I still don't know what the deal was with the sleep talking app. But it just sent me down this rabbit hole of like the idea that I don't know, people sharing houses and how tenuous of a relationship that can be with roommates, and then like people who I don't know might have, yes. So anyway, that's another creepy story, but I hope
Thank
that
you.
any spoilers.
No, that didn't. But thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time. I honestly appreciate it so much. And it's been really, really lovely to chat with you and find out more about your books and your writing process. I really appreciate it.
Likewise, it was great to chat with you, and thank you so much. And thanks for everybody. It was great to have you here.
See you later. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for joining.
Bye.